The year is 1994. Earthbound is still fresh, and with its relative success, it was probably time to start brainstorming for the next game in the series. The game we would come to know as Mother 3. But how did we get here, and what battles did the developers face making that game? It can't be that bad, right? Following Earthbound's success, series creator Shigesato Itoi was actually given the previous game's development team, and from there, it was time to get to work. Early on, the team were very inspired by Mario 64, so they set out to create a game that exceeded not only that, but also just the hardware itself. That doesn't mean, however, that the team didn't have plans elsewhere. Development on Mother 3 shifted from the Super Famicom to the base N64, and inevitably to the 64DD, to which Mother 3 was expected to be a 1998 launch title for it. Yep, as I'm sure many of you already know, the 64 disk drive failed miserably, so the game was instead converted back to a normal cartridge. Itoi actually developed Mother 3's concept in the process of making Mother 2. He built this concept around playing multiple characters over 12 different chapters, and you'll see he mostly stayed true to this. Though having been a producer for Mother 2's development, Itoi instead took the role as a scriptwriter for Mother 3. But something that can easily come with ambitions too big is failure, and though a North American version of Mother 3 did exist, simply called Earthbound 64, it wouldn't materialize as the 60% complete Mother 3 was cancelled in August of 2000. Leading up to Project Dolphin, otherwise known as the GameCube, Mother 3 was estimated to still need at least 2 more years of development at this point, and I don't know if that is what caused it, but I'm assuming so, because turning that game into a GameCube game probably would have took more effort than finishing it. Development switching to the Game Boy Advance, however, was probably for the best. Developers were much more familiar with the hardware, and some things, especially in a game like Mother 3, can be portrayed better through pixel art. The game stayed relatively faithful to its N64 counterpart, though Itoi has said his vision for the N64 game was dirtier and, quote, more upsetting and more up for interpretation through its vague writing. This was a way to symbolize his own personal growth, apparently, and though the Mother 3 we got was not quite as harsh, it still stayed very true to the source material. After multiple years of failed petitions and fan uproar, Itoi was well aware that fans desperately wanted Mother 3, though he predicted restarting development would just be impossible if it were in its entirety. Despite this, Mother 3 was finally announced in 2003 as a Game Boy Advance game in text on a commercial for Mother 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Advance as well. The game was said to follow the same story, but with graphics more akin to what the series was already accustomed to. By July 2004, the game was almost 60% complete, and they hoped for a late 2005 Japan release. However, the game would be released on April 20th, 2006, to grave success. Although I'm sure anyone watching this knows the same could not be said for North America or anywhere else in the world for that matter. Why? Well, I don't know. Some say it was expected to flop like Earthbound, or some say the Magypsies, and some say that they did start translating Mother 3 and quit halfway through. Regardless, it's been almost 17 years and Nintendo has still hardly acknowledged the game. Sure, they added Lucas to Smash, but other than that, any recognition was just to say, no, we don't have plans for this, or joke gags at conferences. But Mother fans are persistent, and that wouldn't be the end of it. As early as 2006, a fan translation was already announced, led by the amazing Clyde Tomato Mandolin, a professional game translator who's worked on many other things. Alongside him were about a dozen other people. Over a 2-year process and thousands of hours of work and effort translated Mother 3 from Japanese to English. The team stated even the highest levels of Nintendo knew about their project but didn't intervene. All the details behind the fan translation are so extensive that it could probably make its own video, so I'll link that below if you're more interested. So here we are. It's 2022 and Mother 3 in North America is still very out of sight. I would definitely recommend, if you want to experience the game, don't be that guy and just play the fan translation. Earthbound Beginnings, the official translation of Mother 1, gave fans hope for Mother 3. That alongside of Nintendo actually acknowledging Earthbound lately, that also helps. All that I know is that I love this series, translated or not. Mother has introduced me to so many of my friends and so many people in general. It's inspired so many games and so many songs, so much art. It's truly special. It's a reminder of the good in the world and the change you can make as a person, and a lesson to never give up and a reminder that you're worthy. This series is a lot of things and has a lot of meanings for different people, so thank you, Shige Sato. Thank you, developers. Thank you, translators, and everyone in between for letting people all around the world experience this game. Boing!